All right, well, good morning, everybody. Today is Saturday, June 23rd, and this is the Relive Business Success Training for the Bueller and Friends organization. My name is Diane Gibson, and I'm going to be presenting today. My story, well, first I want to say, Relive makes absolutely no claims to cure or treat any kinds of ailments or illnesses. It's just a matter of putting optimum nutrition into your body so that it can feed your cells, and then your cells have the option of operating correctly. Again, my name is Diane Gibson, and I've been in Relive for just a little over 3 years. Originally, my sister had started Relive a couple of years before, and had received some really, really great health benefits from starting Relive. At the time that she chatted with me about it, I was having leg cramps nightly for long periods of time every night, and it was challenging. I started Relive, and after about 3 weeks, those leg cramps diminished significantly, and I can't even tell you the last time I had one. Some of the other benefits that I've received are increased energy, as most people, and I used to get migraine headaches pretty significantly for about, well, they'd last 2 or 3 days. They almost always came on Friday night and would go away on Sunday night, so I could go back to work. But I think in the last 3 years, I probably have only had 2 or 3, which has been really very helpful. So that's my story. I would like to know. Hello? Okay. I'd like to know what kind of successes people have had this week. And before you all get started, and while you're thinking about it, one of my successes for this week is that I started a new job, and I was working on a computer system that I have only seen in the past. I'm working as a front office person in a dental office, and I was successfully able to negotiate that computer system and get people scheduled and make treatment plans and give them estimates and help them out in a way that wasn't too terribly clumsy. So that was my biggest success this week. Who else would like to share? Anyone?
Hey, Diane, it's Jim.
Hi, Jim.
Hi, Diane. Yeah, I had a gentleman who contacted us looking for extra retirement income. I've got a number of people in that situation that are joining me in the baby boomer era, I guess, and that just need a little extra income. So it's kind of fun to talk to people, and we can offer a solution. And he was a real estate broker, so he understands how a compensation plan works with network marketing kind of situations, because real estate brokers do the kind of same thing. They have brokers who teach and train agents and receive a percentage from sales. So it was a pretty good conversation I had with him a couple of days ago.
That's awesome, Jim. Where'd you meet him?
Oh, we have a spot in in a magazine, in LDS Living magazine, and so he contacted us from that.
That's great. That's great. Well, congratulations. Would anybody else like to share?
Diane, can you hear me?
Yeah.
This is Sandy Sopko.
Hi,
I have really been. Hi. Thank you for doing the call. I have really been promoting the Energize with this time of the season, and the response has really been good to show them the comparable to the Gatorade and other things that aren't as healthy. And because of doing a program that I call Starving for Nutrients in America, I've actually going into the senior living communities and presenting a program. And the bistro that is going to be set up for one of the new communities are looking at adding Relive as part of their high-end nutrition, because it is a community that spends quite a bit of money. When you spend $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month for assisted living, they want to give the best to their clients. So that's a really big breakthrough to get into communities that are looking at Relive.
That is awesome. And, you know, I don't think I've ever heard that idea before. I think that that's great.
I make up the lemon. I use the little 8-ounce bottles, and I make up the lemon and the orange, and I take it everywhere I go. Every client I see, any networking group that I go to, I make it part of the drawing, and I do shameless promotion of why they need to have this energized. So we just have to use the tools.
Absolutely. That's great. Congratulations. Who else would like to share a success with us this week?
Diane, it's Brenda.
Hi, Brenda.
It's not a business success, but it's a success, I guess. So Thursday, Steve and I celebrated our 44th anniversary. So
wow.
I just thought I'd share that.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thanks.
It takes a lot of work to be married for 44 years.
Yes, it does.
That's a lot of work every single day.
So,
well,
yeah.
That's great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who'd like to share? Okay. One little caveat that I'm going to mention is that I have 2 fairly unruly dogs that for right now are sleeping, but when the neighbor dogs come out, we may get to hear those. So, but we'll go ahead and get started on the training as soon as my computer works. There we go. So, how do we have success with Relive? We just heard a couple of different ways. There are a couple of fundamental steps, 5 in fact, that can help us find and draw in new people, but not bud. So what it takes is daily activity. We have a business cycle with the Relive system that helps us keep track of things, and then we have corporate support. So how do we find success with Relive? Our answer is to fuel our business with new people. And the way to do that is to apply action. There are daily fundamentals that we need to use in order to identify people who might be interested. Everybody knows somebody who could use better health. And everybody knows somebody who, like Jim said, is looking for a more firm financial foundation. And so long as we start identifying these people, we can add people to our list and get things going. So to identify, we need to make lists. And our lists need to be growing and living things. We don't make a list of 10 people the day we start Relive who are potential prospects or potential product prospects and say, there you go, there's my list. We need to add to our list every single day. When you're making your list, write down why you thought of this person. That lets them know that this isn't just, you're not just gunshotting, or you're not just that using that particular gun that has a lot of different little pellets and just kind of throwing stuff out there. There's a reason that you thought of them. There's a reason that my sister came to me and said to me, listen, you need to be smart and you need to do this because your health really matters to me. And that made an impact on me. So who are the first 5 you're going to contact? Who are you going to contact today? Always be talking to new people. Jim has an ad, and Sandy talked to us about getting in with retirement centers. These are awesome. These are people who, are looking for something and want to be able to increase the value of the way they're living their lives. They want to be happier. They want to be healthier. So we need to go out and identify people. The next step is to connect with them. Share your excitement and why you thought of them, as I mentioned before. Listen to what it is they have to say. That's how you can identify who these people are. The ones that say, oh my gosh, I'm so tired, or oh, this allergy season has been so bad, or man, things are tough at home right now because financially it's just not working. So share your excitement about Relive. Share with them why you thought of them, and decide with your upline who you're going to contact first. Sometimes it's best to get the biggest and scariest people out of the way. Start with your chicken list. Look at them and just say, hey, I've heard of something that you might be interested in. And always use the company tools to validate. The goal is to be able to set an appointment. The goal when you're chatting with these people and connecting with them is not to share the entire Relive story at that one particular time, or the whole entire business story at that one particular time, or to talk about 68 different people that who might have something to say to them. You just want to share your particular excitement, why you thought of them, and then get that appointment. Once you've listened to why it is they might be interested and why you thought of them, use those reasons when you're chatting with them. Jim, you told me that you were really kind of concerned about your retirement and you'd like to bolster that a little bit. I think I have something that might be able to help. Something like that. So the third step, well, no, we're not going to go up to the third step yet. So one of the best ways of finding out how people are doing is to say, how are you? How are you doing? And just listen. You can also go with, I've started something. There's a chance to make some really serious money. Can we get together? Get together because you'd indicated that this is something you'd really be interested in. And always use the tools and stories to validate. The stories are one of the biggest reasons why a lot of people join Relive. They've heard something that can make a difference that has made a difference in someone else's life. So ask your questions and listen. Then share the Relive story. Share why it is, what your why is, and why you believe, and share your heart. This business is a business of relationships, and people need to know that you're not just shotgunning it, that you are concerned with them, and that you do really want them to experience a better life. Relive has a whole bunch of business and presentation tools. There's the opportunity book. There's slides and videos. There's this super awesome new application that we have where we can share videos with anybody at any time. There are webinars. There's story calls. Get your upline involved in this too. My upline, as I mentioned, my sister, has a tremendous health story. And her upline has a tremendous health and business story. And so if our uplines and crosslines are available, we need to use them. And I know that for everybody on the call and anybody who might be listening, that you'd be more than happy to share with a prospect of either your upline, downline, or crossline, because you have a story to share. And it's important for us to share all of that. Some of the ways that we can use the Relive story are in Relive meetings and events. We can have in-home parties, and those parties can look like watching a video or sharing shakes or sharing the compensation plan. There are webinars, there's conference calls, your upline, there's other distributors, as I mentioned. The Lifestyle magazine, this last one, had some really fantastic tasting shake recipes in it. And I've tried some of those, and those are really, really good. There are video tools. And remember, we don't have to know it all. Obviously, I don't know it all. But we don't have to know it all. Be honest and use Relive's built-in system to educate and to validate. If we come off like this really slick business person, when we're first meeting somebody who might be interested in either the product or the business or both, and we know all the answers and we have everything really dialed in, then it can be very intimidating to certain people that would feel like they would have to know everything before they could even possibly get started. And that's generally not the best way to build our businesses. The best way to build our business is with enthusiasm. If somebody is really slick and really dialed in, but not terribly enthusiastic, what other people might see is just a lot of effort that it would take in order to even get started in the business. And that's not necessarily what it takes. Sometimes just silly enthusiasm is all it takes to get somebody interested. So once you've shared the story, and that includes the health stories and the business story, the entire Relive story, ask them for a decision. Be prepared to do business right away. Have products and tools available with you at all times. The Relive Super Packs are awesome because that gets them started on a multi-month option where they don't have to worry about reordering right away, and they've got all their stuff. Have your sales tools and your bags and everything available for you so that you can get started right now. Have a recommended order. Quite a while ago, sent out recommended orders for each level of distributorship. There's a quick start order right now. We have and since that time, we have the fit kit, which is nearly a quick start order. But it's really nice because that plus a can of now will absolutely get you to the quick start level, and you'll be able to get a distributor started right then and there, and that's a $500 order. Have a recommended order for customers and also for master affiliates based on what these people have shared are their needs, and then help them register. We have online applications. We can sign people up from our new little Relive app. Have the forms, or you could always do it old school and call Relive at 1-800-RELIVE-US. Once you've shared the story, ask people what it is they saw within the story that they really liked. What was it that interested you most? Where do you think you'd like to get started? And once you've asked that question, where would you like to get started? Be quiet and listen. We've heard many, many examples of people who get a little nervous with the silence and maybe start making suggestions on where they'd like to get started. My sister Linda had an example of that. She signed up a gal. She went over and was helping her and had talked to her about Relive. And there was a little bit of silence after she said, well, what do you think? Where would you like to get started? And there was a bit of silence, and Linda was just about to say, how about a super PAC? But she remembered a story from previously and thought to herself, she just bit her tongue. And the lady looked at her and said, I think I'd really like to get started at that master affiliate level. She says, I'd like to get as much product for, the biggest bang for my buck. And Linda was thrilled, obviously. But ask questions and then listen to the answers. If they ask about recommendations, if your prospect asks about recommendations, you could suggest master affiliate first. And if they indicate that that's not exactly the direction they were planning on heading, then, a super PAC, like I said, is an awesome way, or a Fit 3 if they're interested in their health and fitness, along with a supplemental a piece of the core nutrition, is a way to get them to a quick start. Ask them about their personal needs. Keep it simple and don't overwhelm them. Start with the core nutrition. I mean, we have a lot of targeted nutrition options, which do wonderful things for people. But once you get the core nutrition in you, and it starts to work, sometimes those targeted issues can go away. And you might suggest at ways that your prospects can save on the products. Know the compensation plan and know where the breaks are, know where you can make suggestions with your prospects after listening to them that would be most beneficial to them, because we all want to be able to get this wonderful nutrition, this high-end nutrition for the least amount of money. And then ask them, who do you know who might be able to benefit from these Relive products? People who join up as customers, once they see what Relive can do, might just decide after a little bit that they prefer to become distributors, because there are so many people around us who need what it is we have. So once you've asked the question, where would you like to get started? And the answer is to build a Relive business. Get them signed up right away. Like I said, the application has an opportunity for us to sign up people right now on our phones and just get started. Then review with them what the profit options are. Talk again about the compensation plan. Show them that with a little bit more investment, they can save a whole lot more money and earn a whole lot more money. Ask questions about what their goals are, and then listen to those answers and help them see their potential and select the best option. If they want to become a customer right now, do they want to become a regular customer or a preferred customer for just a small fee? And let them start saving money there. And again, if the answer is to build a Relive business, ask them, who do you think might want to start a Relive business? Who do you want to be in business with? Who do you want to help out and share with? Okay, and so then simply after that, you just register and go. Help them understand how to take the products. As their sponsors, it's our responsibility to continue to educate with stories and to look to move them up and to help motivate them. You'll want to follow up with your customers, your distributors, and keep it simple. Don't just check in. Just check in and let them know that you're thinking about them. How are you doing? How have you been feeling? how's the product consumption going with you? And offer suggestions, because there are some people who are kind of challenged by consistently and regularly taking something. And just remind them that by consistently and regularly taking their product, they're going to see benefits and they're going to see results. And that the more consistently they take their products, the more consistently and the quicker they'll be able to see the results. Ask them what results they're seeing so far. Do a little interview at the very beginning and find out how things are going. How are they sleeping? What kind of issues are bothering them at this point? And refer back to those. And throughout this entire process of identifying and connecting and sharing the Relive story and asking for a decision and registering, ask, who do you know who could benefit from these products or this business opportunity? Now, this is only a guideline, and of course we need to use common sense. But as we learn and grow and understand better how to connect with people, how to listen to people, and how to listen to what it is they're saying and the ideas and the goals that they have for themselves that are the most important. We need to kind of zero back in on these, and we need to make sure that we are helping our customers and our distributors succeed. And one of the things that Quila did for Linda and me is she set up phone calls with people who are very successful in Relive and had them share their story with us, so that we understood better why Relive and how to do it, and the fact that there were many different ways to do Relive. Everybody does Relive a little bit differently, and there are a lot of different ways to be very successful at it. So one thing we want to do with our new distributors is to set them up for success and to take some time right now to identify action and have them take action right now. We have the IXR book, which has a wonderful little memory reminder thing of how to build a list. It helps us identify who we can put on our list, and the people that we're able to connect with. And so then we kind of identify from there, who are we going to call first? And then we start sharing the story. When you have a new distributor, if you have an opportunity to spend an hour or so with them, help them build their list. Let's call somebody right now and start sharing our stories, and getting a list of people set for appointments.
Hey, Diane, can I interject here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is Linda. So, listening to this, I mean, really, that should be the first thing. I mean, don't let that first appointment go by without having somebody build their list of who to share with. And I think that's what's going to set people up for success the most. And the other thing I was thinking about is I know, you have the list that you think about, and as you talk to people and you learn of, the things that they're struggling with, the story calls. I love the story calls, the international story call and the Stories of Hope call that's now done by Mary Rockwell. I always, when I listen to these calls, somebody always comes to my mind about, what they're struggling with individually. And I'll hear a story and I'll think of this person. And, it's my job to reach out to that person and just say, hey, I heard something and it just made me think of you. You know, would you be interested in hearing it? Kind of as simple as that. But I always find, like, you know, when I listen to the story calls, or, you know, anything with Relive, if I've got a pad of paper and a pencil, I need to be prepared to write down, you know, names that come into my mind when I hear these stories. And that, you know, that's an instant way I can act on making my list active, but then connecting people. So I just wanted to share that.
Great. Thank you. That's an excellent idea. I think that idea of having a pad and paper whenever we're listening to the calls, having a pad and paper next to us. And I know that you and I actually did that about a year ago when we were listening to some phone calls, and I was writing down names and names and names of people who I thought, wow, they would really be able to benefit from this. So thanks for that.
Well, and then, and even what is it, Sandy, that shared at the beginning, like her idea is like, that's brilliant. And so, you know, it's really easy. It is easy to listen to a call and think, oh, that's great, I've got to do that. And then 3 hours later, just it's gone. But if you write it down, it's not. So that's what I'm gonna do right now, is write that down.
That's great. That's great, Linda. Thank you so much for your interjection. I appreciate it. Okay. So, as Linda mentioned, after our meeting and our prospect has decided that they want to start a Relive business, take action now, take immediate action, and help them right then and there build a list and connect and decide who you're going to call first, and then call with enthusiasm. Review the basics of running a Relive business with your prospects, how to order, how to register people, looking around relive.com, etc., and letting them know where things are. I was kind of poking around in there last night and happened to notice that there is a recommended book by Bob Montgomery. The book isn't written by Bob Montgomery. Bob Montgomery recommends a book for us to read for personal growth and development. The distributor kit that comes from Relive with the Get Started and the Upline and the distributor services, that's an awesome thing. It comes with it comes with everything that they really, most of the paperwork that they need in order to get started. And also one of the magazines, the Lifestyle magazine, that is the current one out there. And so just review the entire system with them and remind them they don't have to know everything right now, that you are their sponsor, and anytime they have a question, that you can help them out with that. And if you don't have the answer, you can find the answer. The tools that we have, the Lifestyle magazine, all of the brochures, the You to Super You, we have so many different tools available to us, and they're wonderful, and they're professionally done, and they're beautiful, and they really are very informative, and they can be a great assist to you when you're looking to share with people. And all of these things are available on the new awesome Relive app, which I love. So in addition to the daily activity that we do, the presentations, the in-home meetings, checking in with our upline, the three-way calls, the trainings, and the webinars, there are special events. There's the Relive Live conference that we recently had in Anaheim, and the one that's coming up in October in Orlando. We'll see a slide about that later. And there's also the corporate support. There's the Monday podcast. There's the product calls that we have, the support tools. There's the training calls that that the Bueller organization puts out every Monday. There's an entire system that is based around the daily events, the special events, and the corporate support that help us to add new people into the Relive system and into our own organizations. And here we go. There's the live event that's in Orlando, October 12th and 13th. One of the things that is involved with that is the Me+3 contests that are currently going on. Linda and I are part of a team with two ladies that are not from the area, and we're having a wonderful time getting to know these ladies and sharing our successes and talking with them about our challenges, the challenges, that we have, the daily things that kind of interrupt our thoughts and the flow of making sure that we're totally plugged in. Within our group, we actually have had quite a bit of success. One of the responsibilities that we have as being a part of a Me+3 team is that we take our little Relive app and we're supposed to share a video every week with at least one person. And the video that we're sharing is the Why Relive video. And we've been having success within our group, actually getting cold call or kind of cold leads from sharing this video. There have been a couple of meetings that have come off of that and presentations, and it's an awesome thing. So once you build your Relive team, once you have a distributor, an upline and downline, develop a library of stories. And I know that my upline is very good at sharing stories with me for the challenges of the people that I'm talking to about Relive. The Relive system has this wonderful library of stories, and as Linda mentioned, the stories actually kind of go right to the heart, and it helps us think of new people. It helps us remember people who would benefit from being a part of Relive. To build an ambassadorship, you need to build relationships. We need to let our distributors know that we do care, that this isn't just about building a business, that it's about building friendships and relationships with people. And in order to become an ambassador, we have to have built a lot of relationships with a lot of different people. We need to stay engaged to what's going on in Relive, reading the emails, listening to the calls, looking at the webinars, reading the blogs, being participatory in social media and text, and then set your goals. Review the road to presidential. Determine what that's going to take. Break it down. When I mentioned earlier that I work an administrative job within a dental office, but I've also in the past been responsible for helping my dentist or other dentists determine how successful they can be. And we break it down. We actually break it down kind of into hourly goals. And when we're looking at the road to presidential, maybe that's the way we need to do. We need to look at the big goal and how do we obtain this big goal in the amount of time that we have set for our goals, and break that down into days and break each day down into activity. How many activities is it going to take for me to get this goal taken care of for today in order for me to get my big goal taken care of? Help people stretch their thinking. Help develop them into something new. Einstein said that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Well, if we're doing the same thing over and over and over again and we're getting a result that we don't like, we need to look at how doing that particular activity, because there are activities we need to do every day in Relive in order to build a successful business. We need to look at how to do that differently so that we get a different result. We still need to contact people, but if we're contacting, if we're contacting, 6 people a day and we're getting 7 no's, that's not ideal. We of course we want to get a yes every day, at least one yes. And so if there's something that we're doing consistently that isn't garnering the result that we really, really want, we need to look at how to do that activity differently. And sometimes what that takes is a little bit of self-development. We need to stretch our thinking. We need to start thinking as if we are a very successful business person. And sometimes just doing that will be enough to change the vibe that other people feel. We need to be enthusiastic, but we don't need to be crazy, horn-blowing enthusiastic. We just need to be the best possible self we can be, and to let people know that we have something that can help. So when you're setting your goals, decide what's it going to take to make key director in X number of months. That X should probably be a lower number versus a higher number, because you can build it fast or you can build it slow, but building it fast means that you can get bigger, better places faster. And who's the next key director going to be in your organization? Let them know that you think that they can do it. And because when they know that you think or that you know that they can do it, that helps give them belief in knowing that they can do it for themselves. And then finally, duplicate. Figure out a way. Figure out what way it is that this works for you, in identifying, connecting, sharing the story, asking for a decision and registering. And then do that over and over again and be consistent. Be consistently successful in the business that you're building. You can be consistent in all the wrong ways, but that's not what we want. We want us to be consistently successful in following the XR circle and being able to help people and build people and build our organizations and build their organizations so that we can all travel the world together. So who's next? Who's going to step up? Who's going to be the next key director? Who's going to be next in your organization? We'll just have to wait and see. And that's what I've got for you for today. Any questions, comments? I guess what we'll do then at this point is we'll go ahead and we'll stop recording.
Nice job, Diane.